What's up, PV Clan? Alex Espion here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Pokemon Red Randomizer Nuzlocke. In the last episode, we took on not only Sabrina's gym, but the Fighting Dojo prior to that, and got our newest team member, Edmund, which I was quite sleepy while recording the last episode, and I only realized while editing that I accidentally named Edmund Edmund. So, I put an M instead of an N. So, we are going to start off this episode. This is not what we have planned for the episode, but we're just going to start it off by flying to Fuchsia. Not Fuchsia, we are in Fuchsia. To Lavender Town, I believe. I hope it's Lavender Town. Otherwise, if it's not Lavender Town, then I don't know where it is. But we're going to fly to wherever the name Raider is located, so that we can rename Edmund here to his name actually be Edmund. And in other playthroughs I might keep it, just because I'd be like, oh, it has charm to it that his name is Edmund spelled incorrectly, but like, I'm just so attached to the whole random names theme, like perfectly normal random names theme, that I just want to make sure that they are all perfectly normal but random names. Hello, I'm the usual name raider. Okay, here we go. Want me to rate the nicknames of your Pokemon? Yes. Which Pokemon should I look at? You should look at Edmund, because Edmund is not a very good name, is it? Edmund, that is a decent nickname, but would you like me to give it a nicer name? How about it? Yes. Fine. What should we name it? Isn't it so stupid how, like, the name raider is like, here, let me give it a better name, and then you end up giving it the name? It's like, some name raider you can't even give it a better name. Okay, this Pokemon has been renamed Edmund. That's a better name than before. It is indeed a better name than before. Thank you, sir, for your services, even though you really didn't do anything. But from here, we are going to go get the legendary that we will be adding to our team in place of Lucy, because Lucy is going to be a pain in the butt to train up, and so frankly, I just don't want to. You may be thinking to yourself, well, Alex, what legendary are you getting? And if you've watched the previous episodes, then I'm sure you already know. Because I have not made my way down whatever route this is down here, where the bird is. I've not made my way down that route yet, so therefore I have not reached the Whirl Islands, or whatever the cave is called, where Articuno is. I haven't even begun, not only have I not even begun the trek through that cave, but I've also not even gotten to the cave yet. So, therefore, it is logical to assume that I will go for Zapdos now. Here we go, Cerulean City. It took me ages to just, like, get onto Cerulean City. For some reason, I feel like the map is just really hard to control. It's hard to control, like, what town you're on. Because it doesn't just go like, okay, you press left, you go to the town to the left of you. You press right, you go to the town to the right of you. For some reason, it's a lot more, they made it a lot more complicated than that. Now, if you don't know how to get Zapdos, in this game, you're probably either not that big of a Pokemon fan, or such a Pokemon professional. I guess if you're a Pokemon professional, you must have. Or you were so confident in yourself, that you never seeked out legendaries. I don't really know. That's not really. Anyway, so we're gonna cut down this tree because that fell flat, and I only realized after saying how nonsensical it was. And we're gonna grab this Pokeball, which has inside it a TM. We're gonna check what TM that is. It is TM 16, which is, I do not know off the top of my head. I'm sure there are people who have those numbers, the numbers of every move memorized. It is Glare. We do not really need that at the moment. And, because, that sounds like a crazy undertaking, but at the same time, there are definitely some crazy people out there who would do it. So, basically, how you get Zapdos is that you, I think, am I in the wrong spot? Am I not in the proper spot to get Zapdos right now? Okay, this is not it. I'm like, you guys all don't know how to get Zapdos. Apparently not even I know how to get Zapdos. I thought it was Cerulean, So if it's not Cerulean, that means it has to be Vermilion. I know that it's one of the two, and I just happened to get it wrong. Because both these towns have, like... I feel like I don't remember it being Vermilion, though. Like, I don't remember how I would have gotten there from Vermilion. Like, I know what I'm looking for, but I don't know how to get there from Vermilion. I know that I'm looking for I know what I'm looking for, and I know, like, when I see it, I'll know it. But I don't know how to get there from Vermilion. I know it's near a town, but I also just don't recall going there from Vermilion. But I don't know what other town it would be, because I can't think of any other towns with water around them. But yeah, basically, I looked up in between episodes, in between the last episode and the episode before that, I looked up which legendary was higher level, because obviously it doesn't matter what the legendary is. What matters is simply the level. And I do not know where Zapdos is. Upon further examination, I do not know where he is. Where is he found? Where is he? I actually, like, legitimately might need to look this up, because this is embarrassing, guys. I was just saying, like, oh, anyone who's played Gen 1, like, enough times will know that he's over here. It's like anyone who's played Gen 1, like, a couple times will know. And then I just didn't know. So let me actually look it up. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Just gonna Google it real quick. Okay, how to get... I spelled get wrong. How to get Zapdos in Pokemon Red. Use a ground or grass type Pokemon to attack it. This does not help me. I want to know how to get to the power plant. I know what to do once I get in there. It doesn't frankly matter what... Google just closed. Okay, it reopened. How to get Zapdos in Pokemon Red. It closed and then reopened, and then the search was gone. Pimp Knight will help me out here. I first of all want to mute the video, because I do not want to just steal other people's content. And so I'm just going to watch his little walkthrough over here. So basically he went to Cerulean, which is where wait, did he go to Cerulean? He's currently on Cerulean. He's going to Cerulean. And then from oh! He goes this way. I knew it was near Cerulean. I just didn't know where near Cerulean. It's near Rock Tunnel, right? That's what I'm looking for. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but I know there's like a place where it's like the land juts out, and it's like square. It's like a square piece of land jutting out, and then you have to like surf down and around it, and then that leads you to like this little peninsula in the land where you can like where there's a power plant, and then you go into that power plant, and bada bing bada boom, you got Zapdos. So anyway, I looked up in between the last episode and the episode before that which one was higher level, because obviously what Pokemon it is doesn't matter, because they're both like which Pokemon is better doesn't matter, because what Pokemon it is. Because it's not going to be Zapdos, and it's probably not going to be like, the Zapdos is probably not going to be Zapdos, and the Articuno is probably not going to be Articuno. So it doesn't matter which one is better. What matters is the level, because so I'm not comparing the Pokemon because it's randomized, I'm comparing the levels of the encounter. Because the Pokemon it is doesn't matter. Articuno, whether it's Articuno or Zapdos, doesn't matter. What matters is which one is the higher level encounter, because both of them have just as much chance of being like a Mewtwo as the other. So if they both have just as much chance of being a Mewtwo, then I want the higher level Mewtwo, you know? I can't control what Pokemon it is. It's not like I'm choosing like, oh, this Pokemon over this Pokemon. I don't have the liberty of doing that because it's randomized. However, I do have the ability to choose the Pokemon with the higher level, is what I thought. But despite the fact that Zapdos is located in a town you visit early in the game, while Articuno is located in a cave near a town that you visit at the very end of the game. But the last town you visit in the game, I suppose, because after Cinnabar, you go right back to Viridian for the final gym. Oh, are you a Pokemon Maniac? Wow, are you a Pokemon... Oh my gosh. Wow, are you a Pokemaniac too? Want to see my collection? Yeah, if I can talk. So, yeah. Despite the fact that one is located in an area that you go to early in the game, and one is located in an area you go to late in the game, they're actually the same level because they're both obtainable around the same time. They are both level 50, which means I could just pick whatever one I want. It really doesn't matter because Pokemon will be randomized and they will both be the same level. So neither of these counters will have an edge over the other. So I can basically just pick whichever one I want. And I'm going to go for Zapdos because, yes, I'm going to have to go through Articuno's cave anyway. You're gonna think like, oh, it's a waste of time to go for the one that's like an entire area when the area you're going through for Articuno, you'll already be when the area where Articuno is located, you'll already be going through, so you'll already have like half of it done. You may think it's like a big waste of time because like Articuno, I'm just gonna be going through the area already, so I might as well do that one. But what you may not know about Articuno is that Zapdos is easy to get. You just go right, like, once you get to the power plant, it's easy from there. You just go right through, it's very self-explanatory, just carry on in the direction you didn't come from through the power plant until eventually you reach Zapdos. However, with Articuno, it's a little bit more difficult because what you have to do is you have to push rocks to the bottom of the cave in order to stop the water flow because it's rapid and it will push you away from the legendary, away from the Articuno. I'm not angry. So, the difference is that, yes, oh, Oliver's evolving. Let's see, what will Oliver evolve into this time? A Charmeleon! That is just perfectly normal, actually. If this Charmeleon evolved into a Charizard, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed, because Charizard's a good Pokemon. Oliver's trying to learn Slash. Okay. We could probably be a good idea to teach that over something we have now, because I think that Slash is better than anything a Nidoran would have had, even if the Nidoran is at level 31. We're going to go for Slash over Fury Attack. I think that Poison Sting's bad, right? And, like, the only good part about it is that it's Stab. And it's not even Stab anymore because we're no longer a Nidoran. Oh, wait, we have an encounter here, is what I just realized. It's a Charmeleon. That's Dupes as of 10 seconds ago. So, we're going to actually run away from this one. Actually, instead, let's kill it so that Oliver can get some more XP so that they can evolve again soon. And our Charmeleon one-shots that Charmeleon with a nice critical hit on that Slash. Wonderful. Let's see what we run into next, because hopefully that one will not be Dupes, and hopefully this will be something that we not run into before that we can use. Okay. Yeah, I think that the Pidgey was a different run, so I don't think this is a species. We're gonna go at catching it now, and I'm kind of glad now that I did not get rid of Poison Sting, because it's kind of nice to have something that does minuscule amounts of damage. However, now that I think about it, that would also poison, so I'm kind of scared of that, because obviously, like, when weakening a Pokemon, if you don't... Frick, that counts, by the way. If you get Whirlwinded out of your encounter, then you forfeit the encounter. Technically, you ran away. So, that stinks. No encounter for this area. Until Zapdos. I'm just gonna have to wait. It's okay. I mean, what level was the encounter anyway? This one's level 33. I do not think that one was level 33. I think that one was like level 27. So, I would not have liked to train that up anyway. And we're going to send in... Andrew's the obvious choice because it's a water type. And Andrew's an electric type. It's that electric type move. Which I think is still just Thunder Shock. It's kind of disappointing. In many other games, I feel like they have Thunderbolt at this point. But in Gen 1, like, nothing learns anything beyond, like, 40 power moves, apparently. It's like literally like Blastoise still has Water Gun. It's kind of crazy. And then you have to, like, to get Hydro Pump on a Blastoise, I'd imagine you just have to use use a TM. Like, that sounds absurd if you think about, like, modern day Pokemon. If you're comparing it to modern day Pokemon, then you're like, that sounds absurd. But I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Hydro Pump is just something that Blastoise doesn't learn. Like, you have to get a TM to get it. We're gonna get some XP there on both Alice and, of course, the Pokemon that actually needs it. Well, Alice does need it, but Oliver needs it more, I believe is the Pokemon in front of it. Because Oliver is much lower level. Yes, it is Oliver. Okay. Learning the new Pokemon's names. And I know I've had them on the team for, like, 2 episodes now. And one of those episodes was quite long. So, you may not... Was it 2 episodes? Maybe it was just one long episode. Anyway, that's besides the point. The point is that... this is a Voltorb. No, the point is that... I've had them on the team for quite a bit now. And I probably should know their name. But I don't. And this thing is level 40. That's kind of scary. Especially because this is a fully evolved Pokemon. Like, if this randomized into a Pokemon that, like, wasn't fully evolved, it would be not as terrifying, but this is a fully evolved Pokemon, and it's not a bad one either. Obviously, there aren't a lot of, like, really bad fully evolved Pokemon, unless it, like, never evolved from anything. If it's, like, a 1 stage, then maybe it's pretty bad, but, like, otherwise, fully evolved Pokemon aren't really usually bad, especially Gen 1 ones. Like, basically everything in Gen 1 is good. There's not a lot of bad Gen 1 Pokemon. And, like, the ones that are bad are not even, like, you can still find a use for them, it's just they're kind of gimmicky. Like, every fully evolved Gen 1 Pokemon is either good or gimmicky. Like, it's either good in every situation or good in some obscure situations, but still good. Like, Chansey is obviously not the best, but then you put Eviolite on that thing, and you stall people out, and you run into a battle where they have, like, only special attacking moves, and then all of a sudden that's good. Like, you get Toxic on that thing. Like, there are ways to make Chansey good. I almost said Clefairy. There are ways to make Chansey good. Is this Pidgeotto also level 40? Yeah, all these encounters are level 40, and I think these are supposed to be Voltorbs. Like, I guess they could be Electrodes, but I'm fairly sure this is supposed to be Voltorbs, because I have never, like, obviously this is the thing in, like, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, too, where you press on a Pokeball, and then it's actually not a Pokeball, it is a Pokemon. They're not gonna crit me again. Like, that would be stupid. That would be obnoxious if they critted me again. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Imagine if they critted me again. Yeah, that's what I thought. Imagine if we missed and died here. There was no reason for me to take that chance. I am just throwing caution to the wind over here. Okay, this one is another Voltorb. Actually, it's a Growlithe now. I haven't run into a Growlithe in this place. It seems that the statics are the same as the normal encounters in this place, because I did run into a Pidgeot. I mean, not a Pidgeot, a Pidgeotto. And we no longer have water type moves on Alice, so we haven't had water type moves on Alice in a while. But we no longer have water type moves on Alice, because Bubble Beam has been gone for quite a while. And we also no longer have a Golem to use Earthquake, so we really have nothing super effective against this thing. So we're just gonna go for the trusty, good old-fashioned cut from Gerald. He can take this out. It's no problem for Gerald. He resists fire-type moves. This thing is a pure fire-type. It's probably not gonna have anything else besides, like, anything else but the fire-type moves besides, like, normal-type moves. And if it has fire-type moves, it's probably a special attacker. But as I say that, I realize Arcanine's definitely a physical attacker. So Growlithe would also be a physical attacker, theoretically. Oliver leveled up again. We're getting another evolution. No, we're not, because Charmeleon actually doesn't evolve into Charizard until level 36, I'm now remembering. Crazy that it took me, like, literally seeing the level up to remember that it's not gonna evolve. But, Pokemon Professional, guys. I've been playing these games for years, and somehow I still don't know when Charmeleon evolves into Charizard, even though Game Freak wants to shove Charizard in your face constantly. Apparently, I haven't had enough Charizard shoved in my face, because I still don't know when Charmeleon evolves into Charizard. Let's swap to Alice. Yeah, Alice is good, because they have that super effective Dream Eater. I'm so used to just like, oh, water type, switch to Jolteon, they can deal with it, and like, they can. That's not, nothing has changed. They can still deal with it, by all means. Andrew can definitely deal with this thing. But do we want them to? No. We want Andrew to take a quick break, because everyone else is quite a bit lower level than they are. And by quite a bit, I mean 3 levels, but like 3 levels can make all the difference. You want your team to be as balanced as possible in Nuzlocke, because you are only as strong as your weakest link, and right now, our weakest link is absolutely Lucy, because they're at level 20. But that's okay, because we're throwing Lucy off the team as soon as we get the Zapdos, and I wanted to make sure that I got the Master Ball before fighting the Zapdos, because I know that this thing is level 50. Obviously, I didn't know that this thing was level 50, I had to look that up. But, like, I knew that it was going to be a high level, and I knew that we probably would not stand a chance if we just went right to Sabrina. Right to it, like, the second we could use Surf. First of all, we wouldn't stand a chance if we went right to it the second we got Surf. And even if we waited until after Sabrina to fight it, we still wouldn't be, like, high enough level, because, like, still, none of our Pokemon are level 50 or above. Like, we are still not high enough level to actually face this thing and, like, survive long enough to weaken it down. Especially, like, if it's a Mewtwo, then we're screwed. Like, level 50 Mewtwo, are you kidding me? That thing destroys our entire team. So, it's very important that we got the Master Ball, because it could very well be a Mewtwo. And if we hadn't got the Master Ball, that's a disaster. Now that we have the Master Ball, that is nothing short of a fantastic opportunity. Because, like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, that would be very scary to face. But then all of a sudden, you get a Master Ball, and you don't have to. That's what's wonderful about a Master Ball. That, like, legendaries are really hard to face. And the thing about randomizers is that you don't know what the legendary is going to be. It could randomize into a much better legendary than it would be, than it was originally. And I wish this cut would keep critting, because this thing just keeps on raising its defense with withdraw, and it's getting very annoying because we're not doing a lot of damage. But yeah, a legendary in a randomized Nuzlocke could randomize into a much better legendary, which makes it very scary. So it's good to like legendaries. There are Pokemon that are hard to catch that are not legendaries, but like why people use the Master Ball in legendaries is not just because legendaries are hard to catch, but also because they don't feel okay about their ability to survive against the legendary long enough to like weaken it down and keep throwing Pokeballs usually. And also Gerald is taking these super effective hits. Like they are super effective, and Gerald don't give a darn. But that is to be expected, I suppose, because Gerald is, how many levels above? 20? So that is to be expected, I suppose. If they do get a crit on us now, though, we will die. And while a super potion, a couple super potions would probably do it. I think I'd just rather use the Hyper Potion. Let's not waste more time than we need to on Zona Star. And I know I could very easily just switch in Jolteon, but like I said, we're giving Andrew a little break so that other people could get XP, and we are wasting all the PP for cut right now, let's be honest. But like, I would rather like lose 12 PP fighting one Pokemon with Gerald in order to get Gerald XP than just let Andrew one-shot it and get all the XP that they really don't need. So here's to hoping Oliver levels up again soon, because okay, Charmeleon isn't bad, but I want to like get to the next evolution as soon as possible. Imagine this thing like reverts backwards. Imagine it goes back to like, because now we're middle evolution. Like before we were just stuck on like them randomizing into more like a completely unevolved Pokemon. Now we're in like the middle evolution stage. So it would stand to reason that hopefully this thing either evolves into a fully evolved Pokemon next, which is ideal, or another middle evolution. Hopefully we don't go backwards and this thing becomes much weaker. Because, like, let's be honest, as far as middle evolutions go, Charmeleon's a pretty good one. Like, the starter lines are all very good. I think that Machoke, while we have Machop on screen, I think Machoke is, like, the better middle evolution. I think that things that have, like, trait evolutions would probably be better would probably have better middle evolutions. Because, obviously, there's more of a chance that Pokemon will just stay as that middle evolution. Like, people may not be able to trade, and so they're just sort of stuck with that. And obviously, Game Freak wants people to trade. They want everyone to be able to trade. When they made the games, they had that in mind, that everyone would be able to. Because they incentivize, they, like, make it very clear that they want you to fill the Pokedex. They want you to complete that whole mission for Professor Oak. What do we have that we can get rid of? Master Ball, Toss, no, Flamethrower. Let's see who we can teach that to. Oliver's able to learn it, which is great right now, but if they don't evolve into a fire type, then that is less good. I really don't want to use anything on Oliver because I don't know what they're going to be in the future. TM46, Growl. You know what? Just to give us some more inventory space, like, actually, I was going to say teach it to Lucy, but we no longer have Lucy on the team, I just realized. I was saying before about how we had Lucy, they were the weakest link on the... Excuse me! My gosh, let me get some water real quick. Water ASMR. Let's learn Growl over Focus Energy, because Focus Energy is literally a hindrance in this game, as we've established in previous episodes. If you haven't seen those episodes, then you may not know. But according to my brother, I have yet to fact check this, and I know I do this a lot, where I just like take what my brother says is fact and restate it in the video without actually researching to make sure that it's true. But you know, he knows a lot of things about a lot of stuff. He's a little dude, but he does know quite a lot of things about just a lot of subjects, so... obviously if it was just him saying something, then I wouldn't repeat it, but like, if he says something, and I agree that that also makes sense, that's like two people, I'm like, if I can corroborate what he says, like, I'm like, okay, that makes sense that would be a thing, then I'm more likely to obviously repeat it, because I'm not obviously gonna just like take everything little dude says as like fact, but if I agree that it also sounds like a fact, then obviously I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say that it's true. Okay, Oliver, you're low health and you're not like super high level compared to the rest of our team. In fact, this Weedle is high level than you, but it's still a Weedle, so I think you can take this one, buddy. This one's all you. No switch training for this one, no one swooping in to steal your kill. This one is all you, buddy. You got this. The Weedle goes down. Second critical hit, not even necessary. They were at one health, and you still critted. Just to flex on him. Just to flex on him. What an absolute champ Oliver is growing up to be. And soon, in 2 levels, they will have another randomized evolution into something that is hopefully like a fully evolved Pokemon, so we can finally end this chain of constantly constant randomized evolutions into things that need to evolve again, because it's just exhausting. I think it's going to be over. I think we're finally going to have an actual Pokemon to use on the team, and then we just don't. Who can learn Glare? Carly can learn Glare. Do we want that? No, probably not. Alice can learn Glare. Do we want that? No, probably not. Oliver can learn Glare. Do we want that? Probably, because that's a status move, and it's a pretty good status move, so that's just good regardless of what they're going to evolve into. Okay, let's delete a move, make room for Glare. Obviously, I don't know what they're going to be, but they do have Focus Energy, is what I just realized, so we'll just replace that. I was like, I don't know what they're going to be, so I don't know what moves would be best to have, so I'll just try to get rid of something that's, like, all-around useless, regardless of what they're going to evolve into. Focus Energy is all-around useless, because basically what my brother said, and once again, have not fact-checked this. In all these episodes, I said this like 20 episodes ago, and I still have not fact-checked it to make sure it's correct. But I'm just gonna repeat it, hoping that it's correct. But what he said is that Focus Energy is actually, while it's supposed to up crit rate, it actually lowers crit rate because of some, like, error in programming with Gen 1. And there are other errors in programming with programming in Gen 1. In fact, there are bigger ones, such as, you know, Ghost, Psychic is immune to Ghost rather than Psychic is weak to Ghost. That's a pretty big programming error. So I definitely would believe Focus Energy lowers crit rate instead of raising it, because it wouldn't be the first time they wanted something to do something, and then they programmed it so it did the opposite. But anyway, I was talking about in one of the I shouldn't say one of them. I think it was in all of them. But like, once I was talking about in a previous episode, I was talking about in the previous episode, not a previous episode, the previous episode, which I suppose is a previous episode, but I'm going to be more specific here. In the previous episode, I was talking about how I was spreading a little bit of misinformation during the episodes I spent in Self-Co, because basically I spent 4 episodes in Self-Co, and 3 of them were of a decent length, and the last one was pretty long. And obviously there's a lot of trainers in Self-Co, and so in order to fill all that time of fighting trainers, I needed to commentate. I needed to do a lot of commentary, and so I spent a lot of time talking about, and you never guess this unless you watch those episodes or you watch the previous episode. Well, I spent a lot of time talking about carnivorous plants, which the whole conversation topic spawned from seeing a victory bell. And in that episode, I said that I didn't know how, like, because I was saying that, victory bell is a pitcher plant. And if you don't know what a pitcher plant is, check out those episodes, because it took forever to explain it the first time. I'm not explaining it again. But yeah, what I said is that victory bell is is based off of a pitcher plant, and I said that in real life, I think that pitcher plants. I said that in real life, pitcher plants, they disintegrate flies' bodies, and so we don't know, like, if they would leave, if the things that, like, break the enzymes that, like, break down matter in them, like biomatter, I guess would be what it was called. I don't really know. Basically, like, I didn't know if the enzymes that, like, in a pitcher plant would break down, like, things in their entirety. Oh, here's Zapdos. I didn't know if they would break down, like, I don't know if, like, the whole, like, eating away, the whole, like, the whole thing of, like, eating away at flies, eating away at, like, its prey, like, the things that fall into the pitcher plant, because basically, pitcher plants, there's, like, things that fall, when something falls into it, it breaks their body down, and I didn't know if it would, like, stop at the bone. Anyway, we're gonna fight Zapdos, and we're gonna continue talking about this as I fight Zapdos, but it's not gonna be a Zapdos, it is in fact going to be a Mew! That is probably the worst thing that it possibly could be. But hey, it's still legendary, I'll take it regardless, and it is level 50. Like, even if it wasn't a legendary, I'll take a level 50 encounter any day. I don't even need to train it up, it's already higher level than the entirety of our team. So, we are just going to not even beat around the bush, we are throwing the Master Ball. I think that Mew has, like, a higher catch rate than the legendary birds. I said higher catch rate, I did the Vinny thing. A lower catch rate than the legendary birds. I mean, it's harder to catch. And so, what shall we name Mew? I would name it Original 151, because I was just talking about Vinny. The new species Pokemon. Not the new species Pokemon, the new species Pokemon. So rare that it is still said to be a mirage by many experts. Only a few people have seen it worldwide. Number 151, Mew. Okay, so we are going to name this one, not Original 151, because I want to stick with the whole, like, as much as I love his YouTube videos and his channel, I want to stick with the whole, like, naming them random names thing, because I think it's funny. And, last Pokemon we got was named Edmund, so that's a boy's name, so this one is going to be a girl's name, and we're going to name this one Polly. Polly the Mew. They were transferred to the PC, but don't worry, they will be out of the PC very soon, because we will be adding them to the team. But basically, I did not know if the whole, like, breaking down, the whole process of breaking down whatever falls into the pitcher plant stopped at the bone, because obviously, like, how would I know that? Usually it's just, like, flies that fall into pitcher plants, and flies don't have bones, so, like, we wouldn't know if it would stop at the bone. And I said, like, so, since we don't know, and I said that, like, Victory Bell, it says in their Pokedex entry that the acids in its body break down whatever falls into them, whatever falls into its mouth, and that stopping at the bone. And I said that I did not know, like, obviously I did not know how accurate that was, because normally things that fall into pitcher plants are just, like, I said flies, not actually flies. They're not usually flies, because even if flies did fall in, they would be able to fly out, typically. I actually discussed this. This is another piece of misinformation that I spread. I talked about this in the previous episode. But yeah, usually the bugs that fall into pitcher plants and die there are flightless. So I shouldn't say flies, I should say bugs. So basically, since the bugs that fall into pitcher plants don't have bones, I said that there's no real way of proving this, but I imagine that it would stop, a real-life pitcher plant would stop at the bone, so I imagine that that piece of Victory Bell's Pokedex is accurate. However, I was right about that. My brother did tell me that if mice have fallen in before, and it does break them down to the bone, it does in fact stop at the bone. There's Fuchsia is down here. I'm starting to figure out how to navigate the fly map here. But yeah, we are going to, now that we've found Mew, first of all, we're going to heal our Pokemon. Oh, we already did that? Yeah, we did just exit Pokemon Center, didn't we? So, Pokemon healed up. We are now going to go into Bill's PC, which is the one that stores Pokemon. I'm starting to learn. We're going to deposit a Pokemon, because you can't withdraw a Pokemon without depositing one. And we are going to get rid of Edmund, actually. For now! We'll see what Oliver ends up evolving into when they finally become a fully evolved Pokemon. And then maybe we'll switch them out for Edmund if it's underwhelming, just to see if Edmund evolves into anything better, because, like, it's such a small level gap. For now, at least, it might take forever for them to evolve into a fully evolved Pokemon, and then the level gap, and then it's going to be like level 40 versus level 30, and then I'll be probably more apprehensive to add Edmund back to the team. But we're going to start surfing down here, and we're going to run into this trainer right here so that we can get a quick battle in. I look at the sea to forget. Poetic. Anyway, so I was in fact right about that, according to my brother, because mice have fallen in, and it does in fact stop at the bone when it breaks them down. What I was not right about was actually the Pokedex entry, and this was not just me being wrong. This was more of my brother being wrong, because he told me the Pokedex entry said that it broke it, he told me the Pokedex entry said that Victory Bell left nothing but bone when it broke things down that, like, went into its mouth. And I just restated this information, so the problem wasn't that I stated the information wrong. The problem was I was given the wrong information. Because actually what the Pokedex entry says is it breaks down its prey, bones and all. It was the Pokemon, I don't know if it was Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, or if it was Sun and Moon, but it was a Gen 7 Pokedex entry. I don't know if it was the Sun side or the Moon side. I don't know if it was Ultra Sun, or Ultra Sun or Sun, or Ultra Moon or Moon, and I don't even know if it was the Ultra version or the not Ultra version. But I know it was a Gen 7 Pokedex entry. Actually, it might have been Let's Go, is what it was. That could be it. I'm fairly sure that's it, now that I think about it. That's another thing for me to look up, to fact check, so that I can tell you in the next episode. I misinformed you again. But yeah, so sorry about that. I accidentally said the wrong Pokedex entry. I said that it broke down. I said that, like, when Victory Bell captured prey in its mouth, it breaks them down, leaving the bone, and it's, like, spitting out the bone. But in actuality, it was breaking them down, leaving nothing. Breaking them down, bones and all, is what the Pokemon Century said. And like I said, that's not my fault. That's just my brother told me the wrong thing, and we did look it up afterwards, and we found that he was incorrect. So, for once, this misinformation is not on me. That one is on my brother. But hey, he can't be right all the time. I'm sure he was right on a lot of things. I will definitely look up the critical hit, like the focus energy thing, right after this episode to see if it's actually true before I keep on saying it in future episodes, because I'm sure if it's wrong, I'm going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, I said the wrong thing in so many episodes. Ooh, traumatic. And with that, speaking of saying the wrong things in so many episodes, there are so many episodes of this series, and this is one of them. And this is one that will end. Terrible transitions aside, thank you so much for watching this episode of Eevee Clan. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Alex Beyond signing off.